it up like we always do. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys let me turn my volume down on my end over here. What's up, man? Checking in with y'all, tapping in. You know how it goes. Y'all know how we get down over here. Late night tap in from wet Los Angeles. Very, very rainy out here. But we're maintaining, making it pop off. Boy, it's a lot of y'all up in here. What y'all doing up this time of night? Some of y'all must be up doing OnlyFans videos or something. Shout out to the OnlyFans people. I see some of y'all in here now. I see some OnlyFans models in here. I see some of the foot models in here. I see you. I see y'all. That's what you're doing up. I ain't mad at you. Making your little OnlyFans money. Adonis, I saw you in here, Adonis. Are you making some OnlyFans money too? Shout out to all the OnlyFans models. This is when the money goes up. You're in between calls. Shout out to you. I'm going to get some calls in a minute. Just waiting on folks to hop on in. What's up, Nikki? I see Nikki in here. Don't forget to go to rootworkstyle.com to get your Rootwork deodorant or get it on amazon.com. Ladies and gentlemen, did y'all see Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris was doing a speech, and shout out to my brother Black Alpha Network who posted it. She's doing a speech, and oh, the pandering. She gets black every 4 years. She's on there talking about how she's the first black woman president, vice president. Oh, Lord. Man, now when she won, they were running around talking about Asia and India and all this stuff. So I don't like that old merry-go-round ass blackness. You black during election season. All of a sudden, yeah, every 4 years, when election time comes along, she starts dancing to Cardi B, and she starts walking around with Chuck Taylor shoes on and doing the shimmy dance and cackling and cackling. I'm black. I'm an auntie too. Stop. Sound like she be drunk and I'm on Hennessy. I'm drinking that Hennessy. I'm drinking that Henny. So she's all over the place. And the Democrats know that they're in big trouble right now. And all of that performative blackness stuff ain't going to work. We ain't going for that. We're not falling for the okie doke. We are very adamant about getting tangibles. We have never been this on code politically in a while. We are so politically on code right now, and that's shaking the game up. Us being on code about getting our tangibles, they don't know how to react to that because they're so used to us being complacent, them coming out there and just doing a couple of dances, and we're supposed to go along with it. So they're getting very desperate. And let me tell you something, man. Because we're so on code, we got to be very careful because the dominant society, when they see that we're getting on code and we're starting to make power moves and we're not backing down from their con game, our brother Neely Fuller said, when the white supremacists can't beat you with words, that's when they start to use direct violence. So we got to be very careful out here. We got to be very careful because when they can't trick you no more and you ain't falling for the tricks, then they're like, okay, nigga, the jig is up. I'm with the Proud Boys. You know, the jig is up, and they'll just start going for broke. So we got to be very on point. We got to be very cognizant of our surroundings at all times. We have to have a network of brothers and sisters just kind of looking out and having each other's back and just kind of making sure that folks within the community is good. That's that old school stuff. We used to do that back in the day. We just make sure everybody was good. We got to get back on that because it's about to get real out here. When we start making power moves, we better be in a position to protect the power. Because we always kind of slack on that. We underestimate the violence coming from the dominant society and how quickly they get on code with each other. Dolo, what's up, man?
Brother Tariq, nice to talk to you, man.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm good. Dola, what's on your mind, brother?
Nothing much, man. I just, had a quick question I wanted to run by you. And, I'm really appreciating this whole movement you seem to be, leading right now. I just have a Democratic grandfather. I was just thinking if you had any, respectful ways that you would kind of try to, put our elders on to this, this whole movement that we're trying to go about.
Good question. And the answer is don't try to recruit them. That's my answer. Stop trying to recruit your parents. All right? That ain't going to work. They're set in their ways. It's a done deal with them. They're going to vote Democrat. They're going to be on the Biden train no matter what. Don't even try to recruit them. That's a waste of energy. There's a new generation that we're reaching out here. That's where the energy is. That's where the problem is. Don't waste one iota of your energy trying to convert your parents or your grandparents because they're not the energy of the streets anyway. We love them. We love them. My mom votes Democrat. You dig? And that's just what it is. That's what it is. They're our parents, and that's what it is. That's what the Percy Earl character is. Go look at the Bucci Bear cartoon. The Percy Earl character represents our parents and grandparents. We love them. They're very lovable, but they're stubbornly Democrat. They're loyal to certain people who are just nice to them, that type of thing. So it is what it is. We get it. They don't want to ruffle no feathers in their old age. We got it. But don't try to convince mom and dad. You know, it's them young folks that's really soaking the game up. That's the problem that they're having right now. Too many young people are woke. Young people are asking questions. Young people are saying, hey, we need some damn tangibles. I'm not on Social Security. I'm not on Medicaid. I need some tangibles. I need a check like y'all giving these non-citizens. So that's who you focus on. We focus on the young people. That's why we are looked at as a threat. Mr. William, hop on, William.
Hello, Tariq. How are you doing?
I'm good, William. How are you, sir? Where you calling from, William?
Um, East Coast, Massachusetts. Yeah.
There you go.
Where are you from?
I'm in Los Angeles right now.
Oh, yeah, you're in the heart of it.
Yes, indeed. So what's on your mind, Mr. William?
I just like what you're saying. You're very articulate, and you make great points about, not trying to convert the older generation, and the new generation has like, I'm sorry, I just woke up, so I'm a little stuttering, but,
Right.
but, like you said, so the new generation is going to dilute the power of the older generation anyway, and I've noticed that the black community more than ever is focused on tangibles and not being pandered to by the
Right.
Democratic Party. And like you said, like the election cycle comes around and she starts acting black and stuff, and it's just really annoying. It's getting old, and I know I'm not saying anything new here, but
Yeah.
um, my question is, um, do you like getting like white support? Because, like my best friend's like a pimp from like uh, South Florida, and my wife's black. And I just wonder like what what role does like a cracker have in helping out?
Well, the thing is, what you need to do, you need to let your pimp friend and your wife know what the white supremacists are saying behind our backs. That's what you can do. That's how you can help us. Now, your wife, what part of the Caribbean is your wife from, or Africa?
So she is she's mixed actually. So she's Japanese, black, and Arab.
Okay, well, okay, it's a lot of mixing there. Uh, now, where does
Yeah.
the black? Where does the black come in? Who's black in the family?
Um. Oh, her mother,
Okay, and then who is the Arab,
her dad,
and who's the Japanese?
her grandmother,
Oh, okay,
and
okay. Well,
her other grandmother is was like a slave in like the South, and she actually made like a movie about it,
Okay, her other
like
grandmother.
escaping and going north.
Did she go to Canada? Was she from Canada? Your lady from Canada?
She is originally from Michigan.
Now, where's her mama from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, and the dad is an Arab. That's an interesting mix.
Yeah, there's like different. So they're a Muslim family, and there's like different types. There's different groups in the Muslim community. There's more aggressive ones and more peaceful ones. I'll just put it that way. And they're part of like this. They're part of like the peaceful ones. They just promote.
Where's her dad from?
Her dad is from L.A.
No, no, no. If he's an Arab, what part of the Middle East is he from, or East Africa?
Okay. Yeah, he's from Iran.
Okay, there you go. So he's Persian. Okay, that's an interesting mix. Okay, so yeah, no wonder she went and found her a white man. Okay, so there's a lot of coonery going on in that family. But
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, man. Well, again, I would say you can tell your wife and all of those people what goes on in the white supremacist community, what they say about us, but your wife probably don't give a damn. Your wife probably agrees with them. So that's something else. So you need to let us know what's going on with these folks. Let us know what's being said
No,
behind
she's like
those doors.
half of her family are like Black Lives Matter activists. Like she hates white supremacists. She
Mhm.
talks about it a lot.
Well, she can't talk about it that much, and she laying up with you. Not saying you're a white supremacist, but she can't talk that shit, and she's up here making avocado wraps for your ass in the morning. So how long y'all been together?
2 years.
That the first black girl you had?
Yes, sir.
Well, all right, there you go, my man. All right, brother. But yeah, but again, let us know what's going on with the white supremacists. Tell us what they're saying behind our backs. That's what people in the dominant society can do. Y'all can let us know what go on in them jury rooms when they're sitting up here about to let race soldiers out. Let us know who they are. That's how you can be allies. That's the old Ida B. Wells thing. Ida B. Wells, the white allies she had them infiltrate the Klan. They would join the Klan and then let her know who the Klan members were, and she would publish them joints in her newspaper. They ran our good sister up out the South because she was putting them on blast. So those are the kind of white allies I want. Tell us who the white supremacists are. Yeah, Ida B. Wells was giving them white supremacists the business down south. Yeah. Let's get Chaos Eclipse in the building. What's up, Chaos Eclipse?
Hello, Tariq Nasheed. It's good to
What's
be
up?
on the call.
Yes, indeed, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You had a question that you keep asking. You keep saying, who's financing this migrant crisis? And I found a source online. They said that it's the UN. The UN is giving people prepaid debit cards as they're transiting through to come to the US border. And
Mhm.
our mayor, Eric Adams, I'm in New York, which
Yeah,
is embarrassing.
yeah.
They're trying to do the same thing here in New York. So they get prepaid debit cards and vouchers. I think Mexico is clicked in with it because if you're getting free, if people are coming, if you're getting essentially paid to have people come through your country and they're getting free debit cards from the UN, that's a stimulus package for your country. So
Right, right.
that's just what I've seen online. It just came up on YouTube and stuff. There's UN sub organizations that subcontract into NGOs. That's all
Wow.
I've seen so far, and that's the answer to that question. So I just
My
want to
man.
give you that.
Thank, thank you
Keep
so
doing. Keep.
thank you so much. Yeah, that's interesting. I wouldn't be shocked if it were them funding this stuff. This is amazing that folks are getting just prepaid cards even before you get here. You're getting the money to get over here, and these folks act like us getting what's owed to us is the biggest problem ever. And it's not a problem. It's never a problem when it's other people. And Black folks, we have to stop accepting benign neglect and systematic deprivation. We have to stop accepting that. It happens because we keep accepting it. When we stop accepting it, it's going to get right, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody raise your hand if you want to get on. We got a lot of folks in the room still in the middle of the night. I did a very late night tap in tonight. It's like 12 o'clock out here in LA. So I know like it's 3 back east, and some of you guys are overseas. And I know some of y'all, again, some of the ladies are doing their OnlyFans pages in between calls right now. But again, we're still thinking about getting busy for June. We're still trying to figure all of that out and see how we're going to get that popping. Thank you, dear. We're still trying to see how we're going to get that popping. Right now, I'm so super focused on the movie Microphone Check coming out in a couple of months. Let me get Jay Stunner. Mr. Jay Stunner, hop on, sir.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm unmuted now. What's up, Tariq?
how you doing, Jay? How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I just want to talk to you real quick about DNA because I know a lot of people don't really understand how it works. So, like, when you got your DNA, you get when you do your DNA test, you got
Yep.
2 parents, you got 4 grandparents, you got 8 great grandparents, and it doubles up every generation. So, when you do your DNA test, it only gets 2 out of each generation. So it gets your mom and your dad. That's how you can do your DNA test to see if you're the baby daddy or not, and that's accurate. But
Yeah.
then when it goes into your grandparents, you only get your dad's dad and your mom's mom. So you never get your maternal grandfather and you never get your paternal grandmother. And then when it goes up again, you only get 2 out of the 8 of the great grandparents. So when you do your DNA test, it's pretty much 99% inaccurate. So, like on my dad's mom's side, I got Native American on that side, but it doesn't show up because it's on my father's mother's side. But if it was on my father's side or my mother's mother's side, it would show up. So when people talk about these DNAs, this is DNA that, they don't realize that it's pretty much like 99% inaccurate. So I just want to land my plane with that one, just to brief you on some little information on that. See what you think
Good,
about that.
great information, brother. Thank you so much, Jay.
All right.
Great information. Yeah, those tests aren't as accurate as people think they are. They're very generalized. They don't really look. You take a DNA test, it's going to say we came from somewhere in Africa. Duh. And most of the planet, they're going to have some kind of African DNA. When they start talking about you're part of, you probably came from this tribe or that tribe, that's inaccurate. That's inaccurate because a lot of those tribes didn't exist. That's another thing I've been talking about that for the past few weeks. A lot of these tribes are not as ancient as they try to pretend to be. These are not really ancient tribes over there in West Africa. A lot of these tribes are new booty. These are tribes that were formulated when the white supremacists showed up. They said, okay, y'all over here, y'all this tribe or whatever. What's the name of that tribe? Then, okay, y'all that tribe too. They don't know where these tribes accurately came from. They were just going all over Africa. These tribes were going all across Africa, man. Some that were starting off in Upper Egypt, then they would get down to South Africa, then they would go to Central Africa, then they get pushed to West Africa with all the different invasions, the Hyksos, the Arabs, um, all of these different invader groups pushing people around, and so it's just not accurate. You know, and plus we've been out of there so long, it's kind of pointless when they say, okay, y'all came from Your DNA goes over here. All right. Yeah, this is kind of pointless. It doesn't mean anything because the countries and stuff don't even exist. Also, with the Native Americans, it's hard for them to get an accurate account on what tribe somebody is from because some of those tribes were made up over here too. I keep talking about this. A lot of these Native American tribes, there's no DNA markers for them. A lot of them, the white supremacists came and said, "Hey, you guys are by the creek. Y'all the Creek Indians. You guys are runaways." The Spanish word for runaway was Cimarron, and they started calling them Seminoles. Yeah, and it was a mix. They just started remixing all of these different tribes, and the dark ones, they just started calling them Negroes. This is very well documented, by the way. Go get a book by Jack Forbes. It's a red Native American guy, very thorough, who told the truth. He has a book, I think it's called Black and Native Americans, talking about how black people and native people have interacted and for since the beginning of this country. And he talks about how in several Spanish documents, the Native Americans were repeatedly referred to as Negroes. Many of the Native Americans, they kept reclassifying them as Negroes. Very well documented. Couples, hop on, brother.
Yeah, what's good, Tariq?
I'm good, man. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man, I'm in Ghana right now. I'm an FBA. My
Okay,
pops just have
what you doing in Ghana?
he's was out here repatriating. I got some land out here in the Sable. You know, I just
Now,
want
how
to
long?
tell
How long you
people
been?
I've been out here for like 2 years, 26 months about.
Now, how do you like
You
it?
know, uh to be honest, man, the weather out here is good. Your money stretched a little bit longer, but there's no jobs out here, so it's a lot more expensive if you don't have no job. But you get a
So,
lot of time. You get a lot of time. You buy 2 years worth of rent. You know,
what about the
but
utilities?
you gotta keep on coming back and forth. The utilities you gotta pay like for electricity like weekly. It's like prepaid. Even the phones are on prepaid. So you'll
Wow.
pay like $10 a week, $10 every 2 weeks. Electricity goes off sometimes. But
So, do y'all
I would.
do you have generators?
You definitely have to have generators for like your modern apartments. You definitely want generators. Like when you build a new house, you want to add a generator and solar panels. But I don't think Africa is ready to receive Black Americans when it as far as Pan African goes. There's still a lot of problems that they have to deal with here, even though they get the loans from like the IMF and they kind of get consulted by the US government, UK government, they're not living by the UK or the US government standards.
Mm.
Now, when you're dealing with police out here, they don't have body cams. They pretty much pull you over like, oh shit, this guy is light skinned. Oh, he's from outside. He's a foreigner. So they'll pull you over, trying to get you on anything to get some money.
So, have they hit you up with them bribes? Because I keep hearing about them damn bribes that they be trying to solicit.
Uh, you definitely gotta pay some bribes if they get access to your license. You gotta pay like equivalent to like $20-$30, so they don't take your license and do whatever they want with it.
Wow.
You know, but like that's the difference. You could bribe a police out here $10, $5 in America. Hell no, you can't bribe no police.
Wow.
No.
Um. Now, do you speak the language out there?
Me confronti kakakakra. I speak
Oh,
small fanti.
okay.
And
Now,
And one of the things that's amazing, right? You'll see Ghanaians with the same last names as us, right? I'm a Newton. There's Ghanaians out here that are Newtons.
mm,
See, the thing that they like to put on us is that, oh, you got the white man's last name. you guys are light skinned, but when you get over here, it's the same thing. You got light skinned
Oh
Africans.
yeah, they need to cut that out because they didn't get last names until the damn 1800s. Nobody
Yeah,
had a name out there until the colonizers came and made them get last names. So they need to get off that bullshit. You know?
pretty much everything that was happening to us in the United States was happening here first.
Yes, it
All,
was.
all the raping, all the enslavement with the barracoons, it was happening out here first.
Hmm. Yes,
So
indeed.
I would say like we definitely got more rights in the United States and Africa, and the Africans in the diaspora in the US. They need to come back. They need to bring the countries up to standards and so it could get ready for us and our money that we have.
So now, so you repatriated over there.
Yeah.
Uh, do you have the right to abode thing going? Because I know they don't give dual citizenship. What do you?
You It takes 5 years to get any citizenship, and that's just been happening, say the past 4 years, past 3 to 4 years. But before that, there's people here for years and they didn't get no citizenship.
Right.
You
I
know,
be
and
telling
and
you,
yes,
citizenship like that over there.
you definitely got to prove your funds, right? That on 50 that comes, you got to prove your funds. If you marry, I'm married to a Ghanaian. If you married to a Ghanaian, you know, it's either okay, you're bringing in the money, but you're dependent on her to be in the country because you don't like I said, you don't have a job there. You don't have business there. You only have land. If anything, you don't really want to develop any businesses until you gain dual citizenship because the tax you're gonna get taxed by the U.S.
Mm, mm.
So people average homes cost to build your home. The average costs like 50,000, 60,000. And if you don't have no roads, you don't really want to build in those places. You want to build places that have roads already. You know,
Now, when you came over there, did you have to show them your bank statements and all that stuff?
of course, you got to show that you have like 2,000 and up that you could take care of yourself and last the period that you're gonna stay. Then they'll give you the residency visa. You know,
And don't they require that you have to do something to develop the country or something like that?
I mean, everyone most for the most part is coming up here buying land, right?
Yeah.
And for the most part, people also buy purchase houses. Like there's some huge African American developers building in like Accra in the Volta region, and they're doing their thing. But when it
Hmm.
comes to like the outskirts, like where I'm at in the central region where the dungeons are at, it's like a lot of red tape. You got family that own the land that they're called the family, and then you got the paramountcy, which is the paramount chief. Now he'll come and give land to some blacks from the UK, some Caribbeans, some Jamaicans, some African Americans, some Black Americans. But then the family want to sue the paramount chief and was like, oh, you got to pay us more, and they'll encroach on your land while you're building. And like, yo, you gotta
Right.
you gotta come up with the money. And other than like us Black Americans, like we speak like that white English. That's what they say. They say, "Oh, white man." They call you white, but when it's a Jamaican person, they speak in patois. So they mess with a whole nother. They mess with a whole nother person. That's coming from a similar situation in the third world. So like how tough and out of hand that could get.
Right.
We didn't come all this way. But
And yeah, and I've seen them tribes. What they do, they lease the land. Right. They don't actually sell it. They give you a lease. Right.
they either lease it to you 55 years because you're not a citizen, or they gift it to you, right? They
Mm.
say that they're gifting it to you under the paramountcy, meaning that they can't really touch it. But let's say if the family, right, the family votes, they vote in a paramountcy. Now the paramount chief might not even be from that area. The paramount chief might be from 6 hours away. He just may have a small claim just due to his ancestry there, but they don't really rock with him. They don't see him every day. He has to get the family that own the land to agree, and if they don't agree, there could be a conflict. So right now there's like a litigation, like a lawsuit.
And because I've seen some brothers and sisters out there who are leasing this land, and for some arbitrary reason, the tribes can come along and say, "Hey, you got to go, and we're going to take repossession of this
They
house
could
and land."
they
And
could pretty much, like, if a person with more money comes, they be like, yo, it's either you gonna pay what this guy's willing to pay, or you got to get out. That's what happened that on one time in this village called it's not a village, some land called Asasapa. So some rich Ghanaian dude from UK, he had the bread to build a hotel, and he came up upon these Hebrews. They were a little slow at it, but they had the infrastructure there. That's where I did my health and wellness. They had a little infrastructure there, but they were like, they're not creating as many jobs as, like, if a hotel comes in, then there'll be plenty of jobs, and there'll be plenty of money to chop. So pretty much they gave the they canceled their lease, which they had another 25 years, and they just gave it to this wealthy Ghanaian dude. They call him Boga.
mm,
Boga. If you could travel as an African or as a Ghanaian, they call you Boga. In Nigeria, they call it Oga.
yeah,
But if you can't speak the language, then they'll call you a Kata in Nigerian, or they'll call you a Bruni in Ghana. If you can't speak the language,
wow,
pretty much, you only speak English, they'll call you these names, these foreign names.
wow.
Uh,
That's man. It's man that yeah. They'll use any reason to say, yeah, we're gonna you didn't do this, you didn't do that, so we're gonna take this land back. We're gonna repossess it.
but
Yeah,
they try
yeah,
to do this thing, right, where they try to Liberia it up. They try to Liberia you, pretty much. They'll try to write these stories like, oh, the diasporans, they're getting their guns, they're subjugating they're oppressing natives, as if the natives are this, like, isolated group that don't know better.
yeah.
But, like, everyone got guns here. everyone
Wow,
everyone got guns here, man. But it's not like gunman town. They're a little bit more back in the day with it. You know?
wow. Well, man, be safe out there. Hope everything
Yeah,
is
look,
safe.
I'm coming. I'm coming back in 2 months, man. Coming back.
So, are you coming back permanently? You just coming back to visit, or what?
Coming back for a year. Already got a kid out here. I got an African wife. So I'm
Oh,
gonna be doing the back and forth, back and
oh.
forth.
Now, has the wife come out here to the States yet?
Not yet, but she just spoke to my pops out here. You know,
Now, how is her family? How does your wife's family look at you?
they're
And I got
okay, man. They're okay, man. But, like, they're very religious. Just like my grandparents were. I don't I don't, I don't want to throw them too much under the bus, but
no.
you know
Let's
how
tell
how
the
how,
truth.
how
No,
our
no, no. Let's tell
parents.
the truth. How are they? Let's tell when she married a Black American, an FBA. How
Yeah,
did they feel about that?
it's like, look, all you niggas do is talk about slavery. So slavery this, slavery that, the white
Please.
man and shit. And it gets to that, like it's like the same argument that a lot of Africans who come to the United States have. When they finally grace your presence.
Yeah.
They try to tell you, like, what to talk about, what to complain about, and I tell it, like, look, if we didn't fight for these things, your people couldn't come to the U.S. and bring back money to your to your country. That's the truth. Like, we made our ancestors made a huge sacrifice for the Black world,
And
and
and,
and
and you know what? That's interesting that y'all always talk about slavery, and they make money
yeah,
with slave tourism over there with the Elmina Castle and all of that. You know?
exactly. It's not that we're always talking about slavery. It's that, look, you guys are benefiting off the history that we're coming from.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Wow.
that's just it.
My, all right, man. But I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much, brother. Be safe out there, bro. That's funny, man. Where are my African brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora right now? Because it's late here. Shout out to my brother Mikal. He's texting me right now. My brother Mikal is going off. He said my man was too humble. Yeah, we got to stop that humble stuff. Look, I got love for folks, but I'm not gonna let y'all sit up and talk greasy. There was a tweet earlier today. I think this guy was in South Africa. He was talking greasy about foundational Black Americans. The guy, let me read this guy's tweet, and we got on his bumper. And what's interesting, a lot of the African cats, other fellow Africans, were jumping in supporting what this dude was saying. This is very interesting. A very interesting anti FBA tweet this guy had. Let me hold on. I'm looking it up real quickly so I can be very accurate about what this guy said. Um, he said something about this was, hold on, something in relation to Jay Z. Hold on, it's going slow. Okay, so his tweet was he was responding to somebody. Wait, what is that? Black Americans are the. It was somebody who said Black Americans are the only people on earth who call out white supremacy. Africans, Afro Latinos, Caribbeans, look and listen and learn, because they were talking about Jay Z calling out the Grammys and somebody was shouting out Jay Z. So this African dude popped up. He said, "You are the descendants of Africans that got caught taken on a ship and were too scared to jump off when the others did. At the base of your family tree, you will find two cowards that found love fighting white supremacy. Give my nerves." He said something in some. Okay, boy, people got on his bumper, and what's interesting, some of his fellow Africans were sitting here supporting that. Dude, you better understand who the cowards were. The cowards were the ones who sold us to the white supremacists when we were trying to be allies with them. We got to understand what really went down over there in Africa and even here too. The African side of our lineage, because we have the African and Aboriginal side, we got sold out on both sides. Out here, the black Aboriginals got sold out by the red natives. The red natives were working with the white supremacists against us. When you look at things like the Yamasee Wars, it was the red natives that assisted with getting some of those black Yamasees caught up. You know? But over in Africa, the warrior class was fighting these white supremacists, and they were trying to get with other tribal groups to get rid of the white supremacists, and those Sambo tribes would turn on them and turn them into the white supremacists. So the warrior class, a lot of them were being deceived over there. That's why they had to be very brutal to the warrior class, which was us. We were the warrior class. That's why they needed all of that military weaponry for us. They needed all of that stuff for us to capture us and bring some of us through. And they still use massive military weaponry against foundational Black Americans to this day. When you look at some of these justice protests, when you have little unarmed Black teens fighting for justice, they're going up against billions of dollars in military tanks and weapons. That's not cowardly. You're fighting and you're the minority and you're still standing up to that. That's not done enough. That's the epitome of bravery. Cowardice is when the white supremacists circled back after you made a janky deal with them and they came over and colonized your ass on your own land and you're the majority. You want to talk about cowardly? They came over with Bibles and bushmeat and colonized all of you on your own land. And it was only a handful of them. They used Bibles and bushes and switches and tree branches. You really want to get down and talk real. And I think the dude who made the slick comment, I think he was South African. I think he was talking about, yeah, Winnie Mandela did this and whoop de whoop, and Rosa Parks sat on the back of the bus. Yeah, I mean, he's talking real greasy. Now the Rosa Parks and the South African movement, that was foundational Black Americans putting the spotlight on that and helping to kick that off. We were lighting that fire. We were speaking up for the South African movement. Don't talk about Mandela, Winnie, and y'all sat there and let Nelson rot in jail for 27 years, and you're the majority. See, we need to get down and talk. If we're going to talk, Khalid Muhammad said that. He said, hey, why did y'all let Mandela sit up in jail for 27 years? Y'all could have just got him out. Real talk. You're the majority over there. You're 90% of the population, and your guy is over there on Bird Island. Y'all could have took a boat to Bird Island, took a rowboat over there, and got him up out that damn prison. And you're the majority. You see, you're 90% of the population Black, and these white supremacists got the brother hemmed up for 27 years, and he's a rider. Don't talk about cowardice. Y'all could have got him out. Hell, we're the minority over here. And one of our female riders, Asada Shakur, brothers got her up out of there and got her up out the country. We're the minority. That's bravery. Brothers got that sister up out of jail and got her out of the country safely. That's a rider. When you're in a country with the mightiest military power on earth, and you're the minority, and you pulling moves like that, and they still never got her. Yeah, show me you doing something like that. You see, we got to watch people when they say little slick stuff. We got to check them on their history. And this is not a diss to my South African brothers and sisters. I know there's knuckleheads all over the place. But when your tether class starts talking greasy, we just got to give them a history lesson to remind them what's what. All right, let's get West Coast Fred and then Derek. All right, West Coast Fred.
What's up, Tariq? How you doing tonight?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So what I want to talk about was, after I've been rocking with you since MySpace days,
Oh yeah.
but my question was when I every time I listen to your program, and there's always, an African or always talking about us, and I saw that video of the white woman dancing. Though they seem so impressed that a white woman or white man could dance, do their wear their clothes, speak like them or talk like them, um, and we're like and over here we're so unimpressed by it. And I
Yeah.
can see how you know multiple different empires of the same people, different versions, branches of the tree, have been conquering that continent for 3-4 millennia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm surprised. Have they not learned by now? And I see why we ended up over here is because, whoa, look what's over there. Look what they're impressed by. Is it because we've been in proximity for so long that we're not impressed by them, or we're not phased, or what's the deal? What do you think about that?
Yeah, great question. And I've always said, man, the bedwench class, those are usually tether women. When you see a lot of these bedwenches with the crooked wigs, and these are like the white guy who called up earlier. I knew that he said he had a black wife. I knew some of her lineage wasn't FBA, and sure enough, it wasn't. Um, a lot of these folks from these foreign lands, they've psychologically conquered them majorly because a lot of them worship whiteness. See, they try to project that onto us. You niggas love to be around the white man. They love that bullshit on us. They try to they project a lot of stuff on us. They project a lot of stuff on us. It's them who love them, some white people. When white folks show up, boy, they get the singing, dancing. Boy, they break out the they break out the good kente cloths. They did a psych op on them where they psychologically look at the white supremacists as gods. That's why you go into these countries, big old statues of white Jesus all over the place. Whereas foundational Black Americans, we've been in the belly of the beast. We know this motherfucker ain't nobody's God. We actively do our best to avoid them. We actually do our best to get the white supremacists out of our business. In fact, when they leave us alone, we actually thrive. When we get them out of our mix, we actually start doing better. That's why we come up with certain things that's a part of our culture, the slang terms, the nicknames, us having nicknames. That's again us trying to hide our identity from the white supremacists. We don't want to let them know where we are or who we are, so we adopted this whole thing about having nicknames. Us talking in slang, talking in a way where they can't understand us. We're saying little code words where they can't understand us. Even in the songs and the music that we create, the gospel songs, we would put hidden messages in the gospel songs so that they wouldn't know what the hell we were doing. We would write messages in quilts. How many of y'all grandmothers had them colorful quilts back in the day? My lovely grandmother would have them quilts all over the place. She would sew and knit these quilts with these different patterns. Those patterns, those quilts back in antebellum formal slavery, we would make those quilts to send messages to people. It would be like maps and shit on there to get to the swamp and to get to certain other places where there was some backup. We were very resourceful people trying to keep these white supremacists out of our mix. You know? So yeah, we don't look at them the same way. When people say, well, why y'all delineating it? If the white man pull you over, he ain't gonna look at you as this or that or whatever, but it ain't about how he looks at us. It's gonna be how we look at him. How do we look at them? And we look at them, the white supremacists, we look at them as somebody that we have to be careful around. A lot of the tether class, they look at the white supremacists as zaddy. Oh Lord, we love zaddy. And here's the thing. When the white supremacists come around us, foundational Black Americans, talking greasy about Africa, because you want to know who's talking greasy about Africa, they were the ones coming up with the crazy stereotypes. It was the white supremacists, the one putting out images of Africans with bones in their noses and Africans cooking people in pots and walking around naked and ashy. It was them doing that. And we were the ones defending them. So when the white supremacists come around foundational Black Americans denigrating Africa, we say, "Hey, wait a minute! No, no, no! You can't say that, white boy. No, don't say that. No, that's not cool." We check them. Now flip it the other way. When them white supremacists get around the tethers and start talking shit about foundational Black Americans, they'll say something. Well, you know what? Those Black Americans aren't like you. They're lazy and don't want to work. And the tethers be like, yes, yes, that is true, white daddy. Those niggas don't want to work. That is what I say all the time. Those are the laziest niggas on earth. The tethers sit there and agree with them. That's the damn difference. That's the difference. You feel me? That's why the delineation movement is so heavy. Because y'all sit up here and agree with these damn people with your off code ass. While they're sitting up here talking about you're in mud huts and they talk greasy about you. We don't never sit with you don't never see us sitting around with white supremacists co-signing them denigrating Africa. We don't do that. And I told this story before, how Tucker Carlson called me. He called my phone and he saw how the movement of us delineating, how heavy it is. Tucker Carlson wanted to get me on TV to really take shots at African people. and to take shots at African and Caribbean immigrants. He wanted to bring me on TV to take shots at the immigrants. Like, no, 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 no. No, it ain't that kind of party at all. Y'all not about to try to fake elevate me in some shit that you ain't even supposed to be in. This ain't about you, us, and some of our foreign cousins. We're just having a little diaspora disagreement. But bringing bringing the white supremacists in the mix of it, that's an off code no. You don't do that. That's what got everybody in the situation we're in now. Black folks having beefs with each other, and then you bring in the white supremacists in the middle, and everything goes to hell. That's why we're in the situation now. You don't ever bring them in the mix. Ain't that right, Nathaniel, over there? I see you, Nathaniel, raising them hands.